Well, good afternoon from the Oklahoman's Video Studio, Dave Morris. Happy to be joined by these two lovely ladies, Tinasha LaRaye and Kristina Love. Did I do those names justice?
Yes. Thank you.
Great to meet you. Thanks so much for stopping in. Stars of Dreamgirls appearing at the Civic Center Music Theater. Thanks to our friends at Lyric Theater. Tickets available, lyrictheaterokc.com. It opened last night, Tuesday night, and we taped this on a Wednesday afternoon. Shows run through Saturday. How was opening night?
It was incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's this saying around Lyric that there's this kind of magic that hits by opening night because we put the show up in 12 rehearsals. Yeah. So 12 rehearsals, people coming from all over, and you come together with a lot of the material already learned, but you've got to learn choreography. You've got to get spacing and your timing down and your lines down and the costumes and the makeup and all of that. And then we're like, oh, are we going to make it?
Yeah.
Are we going to make it? And we literally, before we opened, we had a run through that afternoon. And there was a little bit of hiccups and some notes that we still got. So we're just going, you know, leaning forward into the show. Yeah. Is it going to happen? And then the lyric magic.
How was it? Was it good?
It was so invigorating.
Yeah.
And the audience was so responsive and so willing to take the journey with us and to listen to the story that we were telling. And it's so rewarding when you are behind the scenes and you're working in your quiet time as an artist and you're going through the small details of everything, and to see that work be effective on stage and to see that people are touched and that you've done something for them. It's just so wonderful. It's the reason why we do it.
Very nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congrats on the Tuesday opening night success. I'm going to check these guys out Friday night, and I cannot wait. Well, walk us through. What's the storyline here? It's kind of based off the Supremes loosely, right?
The journey with Diana Ross and the Supremes, and what it looks like to be in the industry.
Yes.
And you go from these individuals who have this dream, and it's so pure and it's so innocent. But then once you get in the industry, everyone else's dream just sort of takes over, and it becomes a whirlwind. So it's their journey. It's Dina and Effie and LaRaye and their journey throughout the industry as the Dreams. And she plays LaRaye. Yeah. And so she can kind of even tell you a little bit more about her journey. I come in a little bit later.
Yeah, she actually replaces Effie White after we boot her out of the group because she's having issues with the leading man in our cast as well, not in our cast, but within the story, because they're in a romantic relationship, and then they switch the lead singer to
Effie
Dina.
is suddenly out the door, and you're in.
Yeah,
And
it's showbiz. The show must go on.
It's got to go on, right? What can you do? It's not your
Okay,
fault.
I'm just trying to get a paycheck. It's none of my business.
That's literally one of her lines. She's like, "This is none of my business."
Literally.
Taking a step back.
Yeah, and so it's so interesting to see how that all unravels. And we all start off as girls who got a chance to sing at the Apollo. You know, when you look at Black culture and Black music,
That's
the
the
Apollo,
place.
it's
an
Mecca.
iconic place.
Exactly. That's where you want to get to.
Yeah, the Jackson 5, James Brown, all of those people have had performances at that place, and it was a safe haven for Black artists to come and share their art.
Unless you got booed off the stage.
Exactly.
It wasn't very safe for you.
For the amateur night, the Sandman just swept you off stage. But you see their journey from the Apollo to then getting a chance to sing behind Jimmy Early, who is the James Brown-like character, who my character ends up having a love affair with because he's married. So that's the tension
so
throughout
much drama
the whole show.
here.
It's so much. It's so complicated, and so it's life. It's we all
Well, very cool. Again, we're talking about Dreamgirls Lyric Theater production at Civic Center Music Hall. Runs through Saturday. 2 performances on Saturday at 2 and 8. Those tickets at lyrictheaterokc.com. You mentioned the choreography. How's it like working with Lynn Kramer?
Oh my gosh, listen. Lynn Kramer is a boss when it comes to choreography. I had done Hairspray with her in the past. She directed Hairspray a few years back, and believe it or not, I played little Inez at that time, so I was 12-year-old. But I remember that was the first time I had ever worked with her. So coming in this time, I was a little bit nervous going, okay, I got to get these steps for Lynn because she's very particular. She's very precise, but she is she's so specific, but she just knows her craft. She's so good at what she does.
So you respect what she's saying.
Oh,
She's
yes.
She was my teacher at OU. She was she was the head of our dance department in OU School of Musical Theater. And I mean, Lynn she knows the ins and outs of every number. She is also a musician, so she choreographs with the music. And she just recently wrote a book as well about directors and choreographers in musical theater, where on her sabbatical she went and interviewed the top choreographers on Broadway and learned about their processes. And you can see that she's so invested in this thing, and it's such an honor to watch her work and come alive when she's doing what she's doing. She's really amazing.
She knows certain styles, all these different styles.
Yeah.
She really learns and really knows how to capture the story in the movement. So it's one of my favorite numbers is actually when they do Move in the very beginning. It's actually their performance at the Apollo. And when you see the progression of her choreography throughout the show, it gets very slick and very clean and very, it looks, oh, we're regal now. We've got some money. We've got some experience. But in the beginning, the way she's choreographed it, even though it's excellent, she has captured the story. And there are these little girls that are, doing a talent show type performance, and she's just genius with what she does. She's really great.
Move, huh? All right. So
Note
that's one thing I'm going to pay attention to Friday night. Kristina, and I'll be like, yeah, Tinasha was right about that. And Michael Barron, how is he?
Oh, Michael. We love Michael.
The director.
Yes. What I love the most about Michael is his heart for diversity and inclusivity. Because I've grown up in Oklahoma. I've lived in Oklahoma for 19 years, and so I call Oklahoma my home. And it's not very often that you see theaters here making space for African American stories. But he has such a heart for diversity and inclusivity that he takes the risks, he takes the chances, even if it hits the pocketbook. He takes the risks, he takes the chances to tell the stories. And when you hear his bucket list of stories that he wants to direct, well, Dreamgirls was of course at the top. But you just hear all of these, such diverse stories that he wants to tell to champion so many different cultures. That's what gets me excited about working with Michael Barron, to be a part of really the history that he's building here in Oklahoma.
You went to OCU, right?
I did.
And you studied theater performance.
I did.
But also film.
I did, yes.
Why, and do you still use the film education?
Oh, totally. I consider myself a storyteller, so it depends on whatever story is in front of me or is needing to be told in this season, or I feel so compelled and led to tell. That's the hat that I'll wear to tell that story. So it may be a producer's hat, or it may be a director's hat, a director for theater, a director for film, or it may be acting, or in this case, acting, singing, and dancing. whatever I need to pull out of my arsenal to tell that story. I still use film. I actually live in Los Angeles, and I'm pursuing film and television and commercial work, and it's been a great journey. And I actually just recently directed a short film called Punchline. It's going to be in some film festivals, and I'm going to be submitting it to some more film festivals. And
cool.
I just have a heart for telling great stories, stage, film, television, the whole nine. Yeah.
Very nice. And Kristina, you went to OU.
Yes, I did.
And you were a musical theater performance major there as well.
Was.
But you live in Germany.
I do.
What's the transition there?
So Paul Chrisman, who's the head of my department at OU, met the head casting director for Stage Entertainment, which is one of the biggest entertainment companies in Europe and the world. And he's just a champion for his students. And I saw this man in New York going up to the biggest casting agents in New York. And he'd be like, you need to come see my kids. They're brilliant. And I imagine him meeting this casting director, Ralph, in Germany, and saying that to him because Paul travels the world learning and sharpening his craft so that then he can share that with us, which I just think is so amazing. And then we invited him to come to OU to see our production of Rent in 2010, fall of 2010. And then from that audition, we got callbacks, and I had to learn over 120 pages of German sides.
Did you know German?
No, not at all.
No pressure.
So it was hieroglyphics. Like, it was literally like, I have no idea what to do with this. But we had one of the donors for our department actually grew up in Germany and moved to America. And she then was our helper to help us phonetically learn the language.
And all that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you live in Germany now.
Yes.
And you bounce back and forth between over to Europe and the States occasionally, or how often does that work?
I try to come back 2 or 3 times a year to see my family, to recharge, to go to Houston, have some soul food, go to New York and see my friends in their Broadway shows there. And and I'm grateful because as well, I use my holiday. In Germany, you're allowed to take 28 days of paid holiday per year.
Not bad.
So I use that to come home and recharge and relax, which is just so amazing.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Fantastic. Congrats to both of you, LA and Germany.
Thank you so much.
Nice work, nice work. Getting back to Dreamgirls again, it runs through Saturday over at the Civic Center Music Hall. Various themes there: power struggles, women not in control of their careers. What should people learn from this story? What can we all learn from this storyline? And what attracted you guys to this production?
It's an epic piece. Everyone knows this story for the numbers that people sing in pageants, and I'm telling you, I'm not changing. And I'm changing. Like all these big epic songs that have just become, I mean, huge in beyond the African American community. The thing that really draws me the most to it is reconciliation. Because it's bigger, it becomes bigger than the money. You know, everything about this too, you see it, money begins to talk, and these girls, they're really not in it for the money. They have these voices, and they want to pursue these dreams, and you'll see Dina's character progress. She wants to even go beyond singing. She wants to go into acting. She wants to be important. She wants to be somebody, but really not understanding that she actually already is somebody, and that identity thing that just needed to kind of click on the inside of her. But I just love it mainly for the reconciliation, because beyond an industry, connection between humanity, human to human, is what's most important. And these, especially when Effie is booted from the group, and I'm not going to give away story for those who haven't seen it, but everyone pretty much knows she's been booted from the group. But when she leaves and there's a moment where things were able to be reconciled, that's really where the story, like the magic happens, and all of that turmoil that happened and the friction that happened, the payoff is so great because of the reconciliation. And I think I hope that people would get from it as well, like, no, even they were on the top. They were on the top of the top of the top. But at the end of the day, they had voids. At the end of the day, they had holes. And when they were reconciled, so when we have this idea about what we want, you know, the American dream and money and dollars and the white picket fence and all of that, it's wonderful. But what if you have no one to share it with? You know, it's about human connection.
I totally agree. And I think as well, for me as an African American actress, the fact that there is a show that is so intricately put together that gives an actor or an actress room to play more than a caricature or a stereotypical presentation of what a black woman or a black man should be is just so refreshing to have. And the way the book is constructed, the way the music flows in with the scenes, it's very operatic in nature. And it's so fulfilling to stretch deep and to add layers to things and to be given that chance to do that. And I really think the writers of the show were very innovative and groundbreaking in allowing that to present such a thing in the 80s as well, you know. It's amazing. It's an amazing piece to get the chance and the honor to play.
Well, you guys are a lot of fun to talk to. And it seems like you're really enjoying where you're at in your career and this show, which, by the way, is Dreamgirls. Civic Center Music Hall, it runs through Saturday. 2 performances on Saturday, nightly until then. 5 shows left as of this taping. Again, tickets can be found online at lyrictheaterokc.com. Tinasha, LaRaye, Kristina, Love. I've enjoyed the conversation.
We have
We
to.
have to. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome back to Oklahoma, since I know you're LA and Germany, and have fun this week.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We will.
Yes.